Today, we are humbled for the opportunity to speak with a craft beer legend slash GOAT, in my opinion, in Jose's humble opinion. His work that he's put into collabing has really changed the beer game, right? With other breweries, right? Collabing with other breweries. He also recently just opened up a brand new brewery in Florida, Dream State. He's sitting at it right now, which is super dope.
Literally.
There it is. And he just dropped a collab with another heavy hitter in the craft beer scene, which is right here with our buddies from Fidens. Right?
It's family right there. Yep.
Family, right. And I currently live in Albany, New York, and you are in Florida at the moment, which is super cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce Window Seat Will, aka
What's going on, everybody?
Will Rivera. How you doing, Will? How you doing?
Oh, bro, it's been good so far. Yeah, I'm gonna crack mine too. So,
there it is.
But I've been doing really good, man. I'm happy. I'm excited. You know, back on the road again. So, road heavy lately. It's been good. It's been fun.
That's awesome. Wow. That first sip, it hits you. It's different. I like it.
Man, those guys up there don't miss. They don't miss at all, man. They stay killing it.
Point.
Shout out Steve, Maggie.
Yep. Shout all Fidens team for sure. Shout all of them out.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So first question. Yankees or Mets?
I don't want any New Yorkers getting mad at me, but hey, born and raised in New York my whole life, so
right.
I'll tell you what, I'm a be a sports New York fan to the day I die. Yankees all the way, always.
I'm a Mets guy. I'm a Mets. You know, I mean, right now we suck, but hey, it is what it is.
I used to live near City Field in Queens, and I used to go to this stadium a lot, see the games over there. It was fun. It was a lot of fun out there. I'll tell you what, stadium, if I was to pick which one's better as you go into and watch a game, I'm going to be real with you. City Field.
Right. It's a nice park.
Legit.
Yeah,
and
sure.
The craft beer scene, the craft beer scene that got in the city is dope.
Exactly. So it just ties in beer and sports to just go hand in hand. And with music as well.
Always.
Right? Always.
Hands down.
Right. What about Knicks or Nets?
Man, I'm a sorry diehard Knicks fan. I feel like, man,
we're 0 for 2. You and I are 0 for 2 right now.
I'm a Knicks, but I mean, 3-4 years old, right? Like that was me my whole life. But I've been also let down my whole life with the Knicks. So
there's been some challenging years. I would say.
I'm gonna keep it real. Even though we had a good team, back in the late '90s and stuff, Knicks let me down for a long time.
Well, you got the Heat around the corner now. So.
Yeah, I live right near this where the Heat play, so it's dope. Like,
oh yeah, and it's a nice area.
The fans out here are awesome. They're good people, and the stadiums out here are phenomenal.
That's phenomenal. Awesome. That's awesome. So let's move on. Next question I got for you.
Right.
Why did you get into the beer industry?
Wow. So I used to work for my 9 to 5. Corporate America, doing my thing.
I know how that feels.
Yeah, so, I made good money, and I made a good living doing that too. And I'll tell you what, something I've always loved, something I've always been into is craft beer for the longest time, as long as I know it. And then I just didn't know how to make a career out of it personally at the time. So I stayed with corporate America for as long as I possibly could, and, was stable, my family, the whole, I'm trying to be responsible, do the right things.
Which is the right thing to do. I get it, yep.
A man by the name of Steve Hindy. He used to own Brooklyn Brewery. Man, gave me some good words of knowledge over there and put me in the right direction. As you see me here today doing this in my own brewery now. Like,
that's awesome.
I didn't know you could do all the things you could do in craft beer. Like, I knew a lot about craft beer, but I didn't know you could do all these different type of jobs and go to different kind of places that you can go with craft beer. I didn't know any of that at the time. So he schooled me, and it was pretty dope getting to know more about this whole scene.
What was your first gig? Where was your first job?
My first
where did you pay your dues?
I used to be part of that whole limelight. Like that's family right there, everywhere. You out in New York, like we started something heavy in New York back in the days. At the other half, we started creating this culture, and because we always had it in Vermont, we go to Vermont, the Alchemist, and all these other Lawsons, and these dope places that had some really good beer.
The OGs,
for the OG, you go to Maine Brewing for dinner. That release will have like 1,000 people online. It's crazy. We didn't have that in New York, and so we try to create something and push something and build something
that's dope
that you see everywhere else, but you didn't see it back home. So, and other half, I remember, man, we were at a point where there was a handful of us the first few releases. So all of a sudden, there's 1,000+ people on the line, and it was crazy. It was good. It was live. People were all like sharing beers together, cooking food outside. It was definitely made memories out there.
It's a vibe. That's all a vibe, and it created a whole culture, a whole fucking push into the beer game. Yep. Thank you for doing that. More round of applause.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. So other half was your first, and I know you went somewhere else after that too.
So yeah, when I started doing the lines over there, Equilibrium was my first actual paying in the thing for me. Shout out to Pete, Michelle, everybody over there.
What did you do over there?
Ryan, OG. So I was in doing sales and marketing at the time when we first opened up. Pete was a brewmaster at the time. It was me, Pete, Ryan. Ryan was actually the head brewer at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had this thing going on over there that, we were able to open up and like just cause havoc in New York. It was crazy.
Y'all were killing it.
It was definitely amazing, great place to be. We hired my cousin Ricky, was the second employee we ever hired. OG was the first. Now OG was the original first employee we ever hired over at Equilibrium, and now, he's at the top over there doing his thing. So awesome. Shout out to OG Equilibrium.
Yeah, for sure. Man, how did the whole, if you don't mind me asking, how did the whole collab experiment? I don't know if that's the right word or not, but
yeah, no, you can say that. Yeah, so with Equilibrium, I knew Pete, I knew Ryan. We all knew he was brewing in his basement, in his kitchen, technically, destroying his kitchen. But he had his whole house, his whole place. So it was just catching a beating at the time with all his experiments and everything. Fluctuation was made there. MC Square was made there. Photon,
which is like their whole thing. It's like the whole thing, the laboratory. It's awesome.
The whole laboratory science, MIT grads.
Right. Doing something
fun. And different. It worked. It was different. It worked. We came in on a whole different direction, and we got Michelle. Michelle came in on social media and her photography and the way she was putting things. She's killing it. Like, she was just on a whole nother plateau when it came to all that. So
it was a team.
Having heard you that, it was a team. It was a family, it was a team, and like we had every piece that we needed at the time, and like we were able to. We thought, we're gonna take this, industry by storm if we can. We're gonna be in there swinging. We want it all. So
right. That's the only way to do it. That's all. Congrats again, another class.
Thank you. And then it took me to traveling all over the world doing that.
Yeah, so exactly. That's my next question. Yes. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but so we went from doing that to not knowing that craft beer could take you everywhere. Craft beer literally had us everywhere. I was in another state, another city, another town every other week, all over Europe, all over. I could go on for days. It's taking me everywhere. And marketing, just bringing the new beer to new places, hey, try our beer out. Let us know what you think. We're Equilibrium. That's what we do type deal, and it just completely took off. And all of a sudden we're at events, just every week somewhere else, somewhere different.
That's
And
dope.
we're flying like crazy, or whatever the case may be.
So that's
we were
window
out
seat
there.
Will. So that's where window seat Will came from.
Yeah, window seat. Like, well, like I grew up. We was dead broke growing up. Poor, family. We didn't have much and everything. So being on these flights, looking out the window, looking out like this, taking it all in, breathing it all in, just like
You were dreaming.
This
Like
is
you were dreaming. Yeah.
yes.
I get
It still feels like a dream though. All this stuff, I love every bit of it. It all feels good. It feels great, and something I never want to give up. It's my passion for life right here.
Right. That's dope. So the collab, the actual first collab, like what kicked that whole thing off? Like the first one.
So we did our first big collab was with the Answer actually, and can it be also simple? We did a collab with those guys at the time.
I remember that.
Answer. But we had a lot. That line that we had out there that day was crazy. And the Answer, Brandon and them on and those guys were killing the game, and they still are. Don't get me wrong; those guys are still doing their thing. Black Ninja, all those guys over there, phenomenal. But that was our first big collab. They reached out to us, and we started talking, and we were able to get something going. And we brewed it on our side first, and we were doing hazies. Like hazies were trying to just come in swinging, doing some hazies out there.
Still today, still happens.
You know what?
Yeah.
Still. Shout out to OG and Ryan, still doing their thing.
Right.
So we went in there, and that collab helped us tremendously. It made noise for us. People came, the lines were crazy. We are having beer shares. So one cool thing we did that I loved and I still love to this day, you came to one of our releases at Equilibrium, we had a big party outside, a big share. Everyone's cracking cans, bottles, we always had food out there, grill, and
it's a good time.
It was just we wanted you to have a good experience when you came to our place. We wanted you to have a memorable time and be like, guys, you missed out. You should have been there this weekend for the release.
Right.
And
I've been to your location. I've been there. I know. I've been to the Answer. Beautiful place.
So the only thing that used to hurt was we run out of beer sometimes and people were waiting there. I'm like, what do I do? What do I say? I'm looking at the guys there's only so much beer you can make. There's only so much beer you can sell. Right. But we'd always try to have some kind of backup, something going on, just in case.
Right. I understand. But that's why Equilibrium took that next step in growing what they were doing, right? To get to the new tap room and all that. I mean, it's a beautiful place again. Beautiful. So I'm sure you've been there. I've been. We try to do it. Yeah, I mean, we opened it up. So, exactly. Yeah, before I left and I sold my little piece of my pipe, we opened that building. We did the food program in there. We're big on barbecue. We love barbecue and all that stuff. Yeah. And a lot of places we went to, Pete was always like, "Well, we got to try the barbecue here." He was really, really big on it. So he always nerded out. Always on that stuff. So finally we get that building, we open it up, we got the food program going, we got a cool bar, and the tank space that we had was absolutely crazy. You elevated the production.
But yeah, so we went next level of production. We were able to have enough beer now, enough tanks to make all the beer in the world. So and we were selling in so many different states, so many different countries. Equilibrium literally was everywhere. So
why not?
It was exactly. Why not? It was a moment. It was good. It was fun. So,
and that's awesome. And now you're at Dream State, right? You have your own location. Which I have a question for you on that. What's your favorite beer to make or to brew? What's your favorite one to brew? Because there's so many different kinds.
For me, I'm a lager guy, Pilsner. I want lager to Pilsners always. I feel like every brewer, every brewery, anyone you ask, most of the time, because this is what we like, after drinking all our stouts and IPAs and all this crazy shit,
Right.
For us, it's more like lagers, pilsners.
Right. So I'm light.
All day.
I got you. Yep. You knock it out all day, right?
Like right now, I'm
This
doing
is
my
good, by the way.
Italian. Oh, thank you.
Good.
So, if I'm not drinking a lager or pilsner, the West Coast all day for me. I love.
It's like the next step up. Right. I got you.
Yeah, I love West. I like a nice, clean, good beer. My favorite beer right now is Crispy Kinetics, a Japanese rice lager.
Okay.
That we got. So that's my favorite beer right now. Like, I have it in my glass. I have two, by the way. I'm double fisting. Crispy Kinetics in here, and then my Italian pills here.
At your bar. That's even cooler, man.
At my bar, yeah. So I'm like, fuck it, you know.
Yo, salute to you.
I can curse, right? Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm already cursing though.
We've been cursing, dude. I've been cursing. You're just, again, I'm just grateful for this opportunity right now, you know? But I have a bunch more questions if you have time.
No, go ahead. We're good.
I
got all the time in the world. We're good.
Awesome. I appreciate you. So what's the most difficult thing about, now that you're an owner of a brewery, what's the most difficult thing about owning a business, you know, an operation? You got expenses, you got revenue, you got, you know, headcount, you got people calling out now. You know, you don't have to worry about that. So, what's the most difficult thing?
So for me here, you know, as much as I love everything and everything goes hopefully smooth, something breaking, something going down, like my chiller going down, it ruins everything. My cold room going down, it hurts. Like shit gets bad. When one of my tanks, if the beer goes bad or something, you got to dump something. Like that's money. Serious. That's money going down the drain.
Yeah, it's money. That's literally what that is. Yeah.
And for me, I always get this a lot. By the way, on the road, it's always like, oh, we want to be on the road all the time doing this. It's not only the road for me though. Like operationally, I gotta go to TTB with all my beers. I gotta literally federally and to the state register all my beer, and I'm doing that. I gotta operationally put in all the beer that we make to the state, so the state knows where I'm selling it, where it's going, how much for tax purposes and all that. Like that's a whole nother like thing behind this. Like it's a lot of work. It is a ton. And cleaning our cold room, putting it together, canning. Today we can order for beers. We fixed the whole cold room wall. We're placing an order for Sunshine, who's our distro company here in the state, and we got to get that whole order together. That's all today. You know, just those kind of things. It's a lot of work, and it's fun and everything when we're out and we're doing that, and we're out on the road and events, which is still a ton of work to begin with.
Yeah, and like the average person doesn't see that. I don't see any of that.
Yeah. So nobody, we never talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, we never talk about it. We never see it, but it's so much behind the scenes that you got to do. You know, transfer kegs, clean kegs, brew your beer. You know, grain in. Like it's a lot of stuff going on. You know, that's behind the scenes always a ton.
Right.
And the travel, believe it, the travel kicks my ass.
I bet it does.
It's like
I bet it does.
Some people go on vacation or they go somewhere and they're like, "Oh, I need a vacation from this vacation." Well, you travel and you work.
Right.
You want time
use your
off
phone for sure.
Right?
I'm sure you're on your phone all the time, answering email, whatever it is.
Every day, all day. It doesn't stop. Literally, while we're on this thing, my phone's been going off this whole time.
I bet it has.
It's a lot.
Business. I understand. Well, again, I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me.
It's all good. Thank you.
No problem. So next question. What is the best advice somebody in the beer game, actually just in life in general, I guess I would say, ever gave to you about maybe running your own business or about the beer game, whatever it is? What's the best advice?
All right, this is gonna sound a little crazy, and some people might get it, some people might not. But with a lot of this, if you get success and things happen good in your life and things go the way you think they're gonna go, there's a lot of hate that comes with it too. And somebody once told me, and I make sure I tell every single brewery that opens up. I don't care who they are, where they are. I tell everybody this because I used to consult on the side, and a lot of new places, a lot of the breweries, trying to bring breweries up and just trying to pave the way and help other people. It's like they help me out. A lot of people help me. Why not help a lot of other people out there too?
Right.
But I say this religiously.
Yep. Right.
When you start getting the hate, that's when you know you're doing something good. The minute all the hate starts to come in, you got it. You did something great, literally. And
that's a gem.
You would never think. You would never think in this industry, like everyone's super friendly, everyone's super chill, everyone's nice. But then you hear things, you see things. It's
people talk.
It gets a little crazy. Yeah, people talk, and somebody told me something the other day. Some crazy shit like, "Hey, Will, like I'm at an event and like, oh, you know, we love your beer, all this good stuff." And like, it's funny. I was with a bunch of guys. We were drinking some of your beers, and like he, again, this is gonna be a little crazy. Like, you're always flying places. You're always like, is that all you do? Like, it's just jump on a plane and fly places, and you know, you're out a window and you go to events like that. I'm like, nah, man. It's like,
it's business.
That's not all we do here. It's business.
Yeah,
I'm marketing. I'm doing my, but at the same time, there's so much behind me in this building that I have, and all these tanks ready to get done here too. So it's not, and it was just the way it came off. It was like, yeah, my buddy was talking about, you know, saying, I'm like, so you know what it is? Success. You have some success, and somebody just, they can't have what you have, so they're gonna hate on you for it. So
right.
And it sucks. It sucks that it has to be that way, but you know, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Unfortunately, that's life. You know, that's just part of life.
No matter what. But you know what? I love everybody. I love all, and I hope everyone, you know, does good in life. I hope everyone does well. And if you ever need anything, I'm always here to help. So hey,
that's good business.
Nope. I ain't never gonna hate on nobody doing good in life. Keep it up.
Hell no. Why? Yeah, right. Everybody can get a piece of it. Everybody should get a piece of it.
Yeah.
So that was the best advice. Right. So that was the best advice. What's the worst advice somebody ever gave you?
Don't open a brewery.
As you sit at your brewery.
Everyone sits there and they tell you, and I sometimes say the same thing. I try to be funny about it, but then I get to a point where I'm like, do what you're passionate about, do what you love. If this is what you love, do it. And I hope you get it, you know. But every other person told me don't open a brewery. So many people. Don't do it. There's so much work. There's so much behind it. But I want it. I want all of it. Like, I opened a brewery for a reason. You know, I want every single bit of it.
The good, the bad, the ugly. I got you.
Yep. And also, some more bad advice. I got it. It's when you're brewing, just only brew IPAs. Don't brew you don't need to brew anything else. Nah. You need to have a variety. You're not gonna
say no names on that one. Don't say no names on that.
Nah, I won't. Just you need a variety of beers.
Right.
You need to be, you know, you can't be a one-trick pony. Be out there, make every style that you can, perfect it if you can, and make sure people enjoy it. You know.
Right, for sure. So my next question: did you ever think about leaving the beer industry?
I have. Yeah, nobody's ever asked me that. Shit. Wow.
But it's got to be, like you just mentioned, all the challenges you faced throughout your career, you know? So.
Some of the biggest things I faced that hurt, but I, you know, overcame, it's a lot of stress behind all this too. It's not all glitter and glamour and just all smiles every day. But the shit I would get on the road sometimes, I hope this doesn't come off wrong to anyone listening, and just the racist shit I'd get on the road would kill me sometimes. Because
really,
I knew when I first came. Yep, when I first came in this industry back then, you know, you had your Gerd Olivers out there, you had people out there doing their thing, having some monkeys, you know, your Basils and a few people out there doing what we did, and the amount of hate and just dumb shit people would say to me sometimes. I've been called every name in the book on the road. And
how long ago was that? Like 10 years ago? Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. It's not that long ago.
It's not. And it's just for example, I went to Europe on this one event that I was at, and like the shit that people said to me sometimes, and not everybody, don't get me wrong. It's just a handful, always a handful of dumb people that think it's okay to call you certain names and say certain things to you and treat you a certain way because you don't look like them or talk like them or something. You know, it's fucked up. But you know, we had to deal with that, and it was a thing. And
how'd you deal with it?
It's scars. At the beginning, the worst way. In the beginning, I would scream and want to fight with everybody. I wanted to fight everybody sometimes. You call me a name or something, you said something fucked up. I'm like, all right, this is it. And then afterwards, it's just like, hey, afterwards, thinking about it, talking about it, and just talking to other people, and, you know, just getting it off my chest. It got to a point where it's like, hey, you hate me because I'm doing something good. You hate me because I'm successful. You hate me because you're not doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm sorry that you hate your life as much as you do. That's how my responses are easy, simple, and quick. I don't get the way I used to get. I don't get mad or upset anymore. I used to. Now I just, you know what? I'm letting it go. I'm walking away from it. You know, I got 2 kids. I can't be doing stupid shit out there. Like, it ain't worth it. None of that's worth it.
Nah, that's another gem you just dropped. Another gem you just dropped. Just right. It's not worth it.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, I'm sure you had to get that off your chest. That'd be awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate that. And it's I mean, that's still happening today. And it's, you know, that's a whole other...
It happened to me a few weeks ago, literally.
Exactly. And that's a whole nother topic. Like that, we don't even have enough time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with all that said, right, with all that that you deal with day in and day out, what do you do outside of the beer? Like, what do you do, like, to get away from all that? You know, on your spare time, on your free time, if you even have free time. I don't know.
To be real with you, free time is very scarce with me. I'm usually with my kids. My kids are number one. They're everything for me. So I got a girl and a boy, 8 and 7, and
I have kids as well.
I try to spend all my time with them, honestly, the most I possibly can. Everything's for them. Everything I do is with them. And if I'm not with them, if I'm not, right. If I'm not doing that, then I like to. Hey, I'm a veg out, hang out, watch movies, go out and eat. You know, hang out with friends out here. Miami's a beautiful place.
Oh, like, yes, it is.
I have a blast out here all the time. Like, there's always something to do. We don't sleep out here. It's amazing out here. So,
you're in a perfect place, man. And you got Inter Miami right now. How far is the stadium from yours?
About 15, 20 minutes.
Oh.
So literally, people come in here, they pregame here, and then they go to the stadium. You'll see all the jerseys in here. Everyone comes in their jerseys. They're here drinking, getting wrecked in here, and then they go right to the stadium. And I love it.
You got to sell some kegs in there, bro. You got to get your beer in their concession.
I wish I could, man, but that's Big Beer owns that. Big Beer owns all that over there.
I wish.
You know, I would love. Well, one day.
Heard that,
you know what?
Yeah, another goal. Yeah. You've reached so many goals. You know, small steps, right? That's another goal there. Dream state, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
for sure.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Right. That's awesome. So do you have any advice for any aspiring people that want to get into the craft beer industry?
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what. Before you open a brewery, if you've never worked in a brewery, don't open a brewery yet. Work in a brewery first. Do yourself a favor. Learn the ins and outs of what we do in this industry. Don't just think, oh, I'm a home brewer, I'm a brew beer, I'm getting there, I'm gonna scale up and just do it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way hardly ever for anybody. And you're gonna go through a lot more issues and faults than you think. Go work with somebody. Go train with somebody. Try to learn, again, the front end and the back end of this, what we do. The losses that you get on your taps. The little things that you will never think that happens. Operationally, you know, how to input all your beers through the state. How to go to TTB and register all your beers. Wow. How to write a recipe for a 20-barrel system or a 30-barrel. Wherever, it's not easy just to scale up. It really isn't. It's not just quick numbers and, I got it. It doesn't work that way. But, you know,
you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues.
Pay your dues. CIP, you're gonna CIP a tank properly. Like, do you know how to actually do that? Have you ever done it? I get you homebrew and everything, but if you've never done it, go work with somebody. Trust me, train, learn everything you can, and then jump into this industry and open that brewery. I want everyone. If anyone wants, I want to see breweries everywhere. Personally, put them all over the place. But you know, I also want to see them all succeed. I don't want to see no one fail. I want to see everyone stay open.
Who's that guy that goes to restaurants? Who's the guy that goes to restaurants and yells at people?
Schaefer. Yeah,
whatever.
Tom,
you could be the beer
whatever.
guy of that. You should be the beer guy of that.
I wanted to be. So I consulted for a long. Like I said, I consulted behind the scenes for a lot of stuff, and I used to want to be that. I used to want to go in because I go in breweries and I'm just consulting. I'd rip people apart. They're like, what the hell is this? And
exactly. You can make a show out of that stuff, man.
I used to want to. I used to want to do that. I just want to go to breweries and tap rooms and be like, all right, I'm about to rip you apart. I'm sorry, but the whole purpose of this is just to make you better. I promise.
Exactly. Put your stamp on it and watch them grow. I got you. So last question. We're running out of time here. Why do they call you Window Seat Will?
I started doing those pictures on IG, dropping those pictures. Always looking out the window. Again, it meant the world to me to be up in there in the skies. When I'm a street kid, I never had those opportunities before growing up. So to be able to fly all over Europe, fly all over the United States, all these places, and I'm out there looking, just like appreciate taking it all in. And one day, I want to say it was that other half. I was in an event or something, and this was early on, back then.
Like Green City or something like that?
It was this is way before Green City. This is early days.
Oh, okay.
I'm hanging out with my buddy Jarris, some other half. I was hanging out with some of my friends from Burley Oak, and the name came up. That's where the name came up. So we're up there, and one of the guys called me Window Seat Will. Legit.
Boom.
Because all my pictures were me stuck, looking out the window. And then he's like, Window Seat Will, what's up? And I'm just like,
bang. You already know right off the top. Thank you.
I was like,
thank you.
Actually, you know what? And then we were talking about it, all shooting shit, laughing about it. And we're like, oh, that could be your hashtag type. Like, you're always out, every picture is you looking out a window somewhere. And I'm just like, again, there's a reason behind it. It's just,
why the window seat? Why the window seat? I hate the window seat. I'm an aisle guy.
So the argument sometimes that we have is, are you aisle or are you window? I feel like I'm completely I fall asleep like that. If anyone knows me, I can fall asleep anywhere. I'm narcoleptic.
Really?
So, yes. So, I'll be at that window for a few minutes. I'm looking out, loving wow. And all of a sudden, I knock out. And I put my head in the window. And it just gives me all this, I don't have to lean on nobody else next to me. And I
can't do that. You know what? That's what first class does to you. Because I'm sure you fly first class.
I do.
Upgrades. Because of upgrades. I fly all the time. I get upgraded too, I'm not gonna lie. But let me tell you something. I used to sleep on a plane, right? You know who Kenny Smith is? Kenny Smith is, right? Kenny the Jet?
Of course, yeah.
He put a post on Instagram and said, when you fly, your brain is at the most creative it ever will be because of the air cabin pressure, right? So when I heard that, what I did was start making beats on the plane, and every single beat I've made on the plane has been a keeper. He said he wrote his whole book. He put a book out. He wrote the entire book while sitting on a plane. I'm just throwing that out there to you. You might get some ideas.
I'll tell you what, most of my ideas come from the plane, by the way.
Boom. Right, so you agree
most
with
of my
that.
ideas, most of everything I think about, 100%. Most of everything I think about, most of everything that comes to me or comes to my mind, usually I'm on a plane, writing it down, thinking about it, putting it in my phone, something. It's just...
And you got to write it down.
I think
you will forget, right?
I always, I put it in my phone, in my notes every time. I forget it. I'm very forgetful, so...
So am I. My wife will tell you that. For sure. But I agree. So any shout outs, socials, websites, all that good stuff.
Yeah, no. I'm not the biggest, I have social media. I'm always trying to be on. I try to be active as much as I can. I'm not the best at it, but always everything for me under Microbrew Kings. That's my personal. And then for the brewery,
which is next
Dream
question.
State.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Why Microbrew Kings?
Oh,
I know there's a story behind
at the
that.
time,
Or is that another day?
there's definitely a story, but but I'll tell you, at the time, I felt like we were at the best part of our best stages of our lives when it came to beer. Beer was the hottest thing out there. Everyone's going through the line life is insane. People like trading. It was special. It was
lots of
everything
trading,
you'd ever want.
It still happens.
Yeah.
Today. Lots of trading.
Yeah. So it was great. Microbrew. Everything was for me was we didn't want to do mac. We wanted to keep it small, intimate.
Right.
Like everything just one big happy family.
Yeah. Personal.
Yeah. One big happy family. And everywhere you went, everyone knew each other, and it was great. And I put my, Microbrew was everything for me. It still is to this day. Even though you might catch me drinking a highlight or two here and there. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm
sure.
And Kings. I thought I'm consider myself and everyone that's with me. We're all, Queens, Kings, just we deserve that title at the end of the day. We all work hard for it. We all, we appreciate who we all
yes,
we
are.
We
yes.
And it always stuck with me. So I put that out there in the beginning, early on, a long time ago, and I stuck with me till this day. Everything, I do is with that. I still use my I don't even use my company email, so I use my Microbrew Kings email still.
That's dope. So Dream State Brewing, right? Is the brew